They say love is blind, but when it comes to money, your eyes have to actually be wide open because the sustainability of your relationship is hugely dependent on how money is made and managed in that relationship. Trust me, I have been married for close to 9 years now. I got married in 2016, and I can tell you for a fact that money is so important. Money conversation is very important in any and every successful relationship. So whether you're engaged, you're single, you're actually married, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing with you 7 red flags that you should look out for in a relationship. And some of these red flags can actually be addressed. So you want to sit back and just relax, watch this video to the very end so that you don't miss out on any of the beautiful ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And the first one that I want to talk about is when this person is secretive. They don't want to have conversations about money. When you talk about investing, savings, they just wave it off, or they just become very irritated by such conversations. Now, this is a huge red flag. Marriage is partnership, right? And it is for a long term. And if you don't want to talk about one of the major things that will make that marriage work, which is money, then that is a huge red flag. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who are actually not comfortable sharing these kind of things because of their prior experiences, right? If they have actually been scammed or they have been taken for granted before, and that is where you need to come in to let this person know with honest communication about the need. Let them see that true need in you, that we need to have these conversations if we are going to move forward, if we are going to have something sustainable, if we are going to build something meaningful, we need to have this conversation. So that is one of the red flags. If you're seeing that this person is very secretive, doesn't want to talk about it, waves it off, become irritated, that is a red flag, but it can be addressed. Okay, now the second one that I want to talk about is when this person is always in a gambling shop, always involved in Ponzi schemes, get rich quick schemes. When you talk about real tangible investment, they are never interested. They feel like it is too long, it takes too long, and they just want to get the fast money. That is a huge red flag, because if you're going to build your life with someone like that, it means that your financial future is not secured. I mean, you can just wake up one day and you will lose everything just because of this person's life choices. I know that the world can go south sometimes, and even people that are into real and tangible things can have this kind of occurrences. But when you are with someone who is truly and wholeheartedly invested in fast lanes and fast money, just know, like, the percentage of you waking up one day and having everything gone is so high. Now, that's what I'm trying to point out. This is a huge red flag. Now, if this is an addiction on the part of this person, you need to seek professional help. So that is where you come in. If you feel like this relationship is worth it and it is worth keeping, maybe because of the character of that person, and other beautiful things that you can actually say about that person, and you feel this relationship is worth fighting for, now you need to seek for professional help. But if you feel like I cannot really do this with this person, then you want to take like a step back and really examine if this relationship is worth it. If this person is not serious about the real things, getting tangible investment, instead of just investing all their money in get rich quick schemes, fast money lanes, you have to look into it. This is a huge red flag. Do not ignore this. It needs to be addressed fast. Now, the third one that I want to talk about is when this person is overly controlling. Now, accountability is very important in a relationship, right? But there are boundaries to it. You are an independent person and you should be allowed to have a say with your money. But when this person wants to control everything, your bank statement, the person wants to know what you do with money, the person wants to know how you spend your money, that is not love. That is control. That is a control freak, and trust me, it is very, very toxic. When your partner insists on controlling your money, having access to your bank details, and making you feel guilty for having your own money, this is highly toxic and this is a narcissistic behavior. So you want to look out for it. This is a huge red flag. It can become even worse if you don't look at it right now and really see where the problem is coming from and address it now. It can become a big problem later. If you have had this kind of experience before, let me know down in the comment section. Let us talk about it. A healthy relationship respects each other's financial independence while having a shared mutual goal, right? Even though we have mutual goals, we know we want to accomplish things together, you should be able to respect my financial independence. And when there is this constant need to control everything and be in charge of everything, that is a huge red flag. When your partner is entitled to your money, and they don't reciprocate the same energy when it comes to theirs, that is a red flag. If you're going to build something sustainable, if you're going to build something long term, when you have a downtime, your partner should be able to come through for you. But when it always happens that every time you're in need, they always have one unnecessary excuse, they're always going to come up with something just so that they don't take responsibility and just come through for you, that is a huge red flag. When it happens once, it can be looked over, right? But when it keeps repeating itself, like they are so entitled to your money, they spend your money, they're all about your money. But when it comes to theirs, they become overly protective. They never give it. They're always making excuses. They never come through for you financially. That is not a healthy relationship. That is a parasitic relationship. And relationships are meant to be symbiotic. I'm supposed to benefit from you as much as you are benefiting from me. So if you find yourself in that kind of a relationship, that is actually an unhealthy relationship that you should look into. Like, take some steps back and ask yourself if this is how you want to build your life, if this is the kind of person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Do not allow love blind you, because when you actually get married, eventually these things are going to irritate you to your bones. I mean, they are going to ache you to your bones. So you don't want to ignore these things now. I go through some posts sometimes on the internet, and I see a lot of people saying, I saw the red flags, I just chose to ignore. Don't choose to ignore, because what is going to sustain your marriage is not those sparks of love that you feel at the beginning. Your relationship, your genuineness, having this kind of conversations, those are the kind of things that are going to sustain your marriage for the long term. This kind of behavior is going to drain you emotionally and financially. So do not ignore this red flag. Now, when you are with someone who lacks financial ambition and growth, it is very, very, very draining emotionally and physically. When some ladies who are already well to do financially tell you that they cannot marry down, it is not because they are proud or they are gold diggers or they know, all sort of things that people say. It is actually because of the mentality that most poor people have. There are some people that don't have the money right now, but they have such a rich mindset that when they have conversations with you, you know that this person is going far. But there are other people who are poor right now, and they believe that if you have made it in life, it is because you are into one thing that is not good. Like, you cannot make money genuinely. Like, they always have excuses why they are poor. These kind of people will drain you if you actually are in a relationship with them. They lack financial ambition, they don't want to grow, they don't have meaningful jobs, they are not even making efforts to update their skills, just try to make something out of their lives. If you are in a relationship with this kind of person, trust me, it is going to breed envy and jealousy. They are going to start talking down on you at some point, like, you are doing too much, what do you think you are, who do you think you are, where do you think you're going? Because at some point your success is going to be so intimidating to them, and so somehow they have to look for a way to tackle you. They have to look for a way to make you feel little. That is not the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with. It is a huge red flag. If somebody is not ambitious, they are poor, they are down, but they're not even making an effort to get up, that is not the kind of person you want to spend the rest of your life with. It is a huge red flag. Sometimes it can even lead to violence. Yes, physical violence. Because when you are trying to, just tell them to do something about themselves, they get angry, they get upset. That is a huge red flag you want to look into. Someone who does not have financial ambition is a walking disaster. Now, this one that I want to talk about is very common. When your spouse borrows money from you all the time and never pays back, and they're always lying about their money, it is a red flag. You know why? Initially you may overlook it. And people who do this, When you try to bring up such conversations, they start blackmailing you. They start making you feel guilty that, oh, is it because of this money that I collected from you? Is that why you're talking to me like this? Is that why you're addressing? And just because you want peace, you just overlook. First, you overlook. Second, you overlook. At some point, you're going to grow tired emotionally. It's going to drain you financially. And at some point, you're going to start feeling resentment for this person. So instead of seeing this person and feeling happy, you just grow weary and tired. You just become irritated because when you look at what they keep doing to your finances, you know that you're not going to make anything meaningful out of your life like that. That is a huge red flag, but it can be addressed. Have an honest communication with this person. I know sometimes they become defensive, right? But just look for a good time. There are good times to actually talk about some things, not when you are angry or you are just unsettled about the whole situation. Just look for a good time when you are all both relaxed and just having a good time, okay? And then say it and express yourself the way it is, and let this person know that it is draining you financially, emotionally, physically. It is damaging you, sort of, okay? So try to have this conversation, and it's going to help you in your relationship, because you cannot actually just say, okay, you want to walk out of a relationship because of that, even though some people can actually do that. But there is need to have this conversation, because at the long term it can actually cause something deeper, because at the long term it can actually put a strain on your relationship. When a partner you are with is living a lavish lifestyle with no savings, they are more interested in pleasing other people. They are so concerned about what people think about them, much more than they are concerned about what they think about themselves and what you think about them. They are ready to impress outsiders with $0 to their names. Then it is a red flag. They are going to drain you. You're going to be so exhausted. Like, they always live in a facade, but they don't have this money. But they're always spending lavishly. Their credit cards are always in debt. That is a huge red flag in any relationship that you should not ignore. It is actually good to live the life, but when you are living the life without a plan for tomorrow, you are living in debt and you are not bothered about it. Some people actually have this attitude. They are in a problem, they are in a situation that should be concerning to them. You are the person outside and you're so concerned about it, but they don't even pay any attention to it. That is a huge red flag. You cannot be living your life to please other people, and you're not even trying to please your own self by really taking your time and analyzing what your financial situation is right now and making the necessary adjustments. Building a life with that kind of a person is going to be hell. So that is a huge red flag that you should not ignore. No matter how in love you are with that person, you need to have honest conversation. Now, what I want to point out is communication is the blood of every relationship. It's just like a human cannot survive without blood. That is the same way we cannot have a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage, without proper communication. Sometimes don't think that the person should know. We assume that, of course, you should know that what you're doing to me is wrong, right? Those kind of assumptions will actually put a strain on that marriage, on that relationship. So that is why you need to be honest with your conversations. And when you are having these conversations, don't be defensive, don't nag, don't shout, because at the end of the day, you're going to be defeating the very purpose for which you started the conversation in the first place. So let it be in a relaxed tone, in a relaxed mood, and have these conversations. Actually talk about this thing, and it's going to change the trajectory of your relationship and ultimately your marriage. Now, let me know down in the comment section if you found value in this video, if you have conversations or you have experiences, right, concerning these things that we have mentioned in this video. Let us discuss about it down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button so that other people can get to see this video. Also, subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of content, and thank you so much for your time here. See you in my next one.